Hey everybody. I was gonna make this on my computer, but I forgot. I don't have speakers, so I can't hear it back. Anyway, background noise, airplanes flying overhead every 30 seconds or so, so hopefully this is okay. What you see here, this is my computer screen. So what I've got is a revision of that introductory paragraph we wrote the other day. If you compare what you wrote, if you copied it to what I've got now, I just felt like it needed to be a little bit better. But it still has the same, in green, it still has the same claim. So you notice the claim is the very last thing you write in your introduction. And then I'm just going to show you what I want you to do today. You're going to work on, hopefully you can get at least 2 body paragraphs, if not all 3 that you're going to use, which means you need 3 specific pieces of evidence from those sources that we looked at. So if you look here, I've got topic sentences in yellow. So both body paragraphs all body paragraphs have to have a topic sentence, which means once you write that sentence, all of the rest of your paragraph needs to relate to that one sentence. So what I've got is a 4-day school week would benefit our schools and students for several reasons. So then one of my reasons is in yellow, and that's a topic sentence, and another reason is in yellow again, that's a different topic sentence. I'll explain what the gray highlight is in just a second. So if I say that one major reason for switching to 4 days a week is the potential money the district could save. Several articles said that, different sources said that, so I'm just taking that and putting it in my own words and giving you that as a reason. And then the rest of it, starting with money spent on things like, is just information that I got that I put all in my own words. So money spent on things like fuel for buses, students' breakfast and lunch, and utility expenses for large buildings could be saved. This might not sound like much for 1 day a week, but it adds up. Okay, so what's in gray is a specific example that I have to cite. I didn't randomly just know that $800,000 was saved. I couldn't possibly know that. I had to get that from somewhere. And I got that from the article that was written by Jones. I can't recall the first name right now, but Jones, you'll see, is in parentheses right there. That's the last name of the person who wrote the article. We're going to go over specifics about the MLA citations and how to do that, but for right now you can just put the person's last name where you got the information. So the evidence is, for example, one district that experimented with the 4-day week saved almost $800,000 in 1 year on transportation and power costs, salaries, and substitute pay. Where did I get the 800,000? I just took the numbers that were in that Jones article and added them up, and it was something like 798,000, I think it was. So I just said almost 800,000. I could have said almost $1 million, I guess, and made it sound better. But you notice there are no quotations. I didn't quote it exactly. I put it in my own words. I added the numbers together on my own, but I still have to cite it because I didn't know that already. That's somebody else's information. So then I come down here to a little bit of a conclusion, and I want to lead into my next paragraph. So I say, while saving money is a great reason for changing to a 4-day school week, there's also the benefit of added family or extracurricular time for students. So that prepares the reader to get that reason next. So then I have another topic sentence because I have a whole nother paragraph and a whole nother piece of evidence that goes by itself. So many students appreciate the 3-day weekend for getting extra rest and having time to participate in extracurricular activities. So that's my next topic sentence. That means that the entire rest of the paragraph is only going to deal with getting extra rest and having time to participate in other things. So then I use a different source. According to Lativia Wilson, superintendent of Lake Alfred School District, students won't need to miss class when they want to participate in extracurricular activities. Why is that not quoted? Because I didn't quote it exactly the way she said it. I put it in my own words. The gray part again, let me pull this up. The gray part again is another citation. Why does it not need a citation? Because I quoted a part of it exactly. I'm just now noticing that I didn't put, hang on a minute. I didn't put a quotation at the end of that. So, there. Oh, I'm on a PDF. Sorry. I'm trying to do this outside with planes going overhead and in between sessions that I have to go to. Anyway, a quotation mark needs to go right there. I'll put it later. So I didn't quote her entire sentence. I just quoted the part without sacrificing class time. So I put the rest of it in my own words. The extra day with no school can be used for sports or other activities. So I could have quoted the entire sentence that she said, but I just did that last little piece without sacrificing class time. Then I went on in my own words to say the extra day without class would also allow students to relax, get more sleep, and be more prepared for when they are in class. I put it in my own words, but it's also information I got from 2 different sources. And we talked about the other day that the more sources you can cite, the better your paper will be, the more credible it will be. So that's why I did that. And again, we can talk about citations and the MLA references once we get all this done. So that's as far as I got, and that's all I'm going to send you right now. You get the gist of it. So from here, you would just go to your next paragraph with your next piece of evidence or your last piece of evidence. And then it should be set up just like that. You should have your topic sentence. You should have at least a little bit of a quote or no quote at all if you paraphrase correctly and you cite it correctly. So at the end of this class, I would imagine you could have you should have your introduction and at least your first 2 body paragraphs, if not all 3. The conclusion is kind of a different thing, and it all depends on what you wrote in your paper. I can't really help in general with the conclusion. Those are more specific kinds of things. So I will be back on Friday. If you need help or have a question before then, you can email me and I'll try to answer. I'll be driving back from Atlanta this afternoon. So I'll get to it as soon as I can, but do as much as you can on this today, and then we'll move on and clean them up tomorrow and add the conclusion. All right, have a great afternoon. Bye, guys.